some of the paramedics certainly help.
Yeah.
We're dealing with kids, you know, in the kind
Nice training.
Eco-share.
I can never forget it. One has this, one has that. I was like, I can never.
Trouble with the,
My
going on the
gosh.
you know, Schenectady and like that.
I'm going to call to order the Finance Committee.
Craziness.
This evening we have one item. That's the Upper Union Street budget. Had a public hearing at our last meeting at No One's Fault, correct? Questions or comments on the budget that's contained in the packet? Pretty straightforward stuff. Anyone? And I guess I will look for a motion by John and a second by the other member of our committee, Mr. Kosher?
Yes.
Excellent. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Is there anything else to come before the Finance Committee this evening? Ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Is Mr. Frank, is David here? Should- Mr. Mayor, is David coming today or this
He
evening? or
is
no?
not, so some issues with his son, so.
Okay, are we just gonna hold off on his best value purchasing then, or?
Well, are there questions or?
Well, yeah, okay, I guess I'll call to order then. All right, I'll call to order administrative efficiency, and we have one item before us. And we have something going on outside. Are there any questions on the best value purchasing that's the mayor can handle or myself? And we're just calling for the public hearing on December 22nd is all we're looking to do at this point. So that's pretty straightforward. Okay.
Public hearing is already called for. This is just
Yeah.
discussion.
So there's nothing for us to move
No
on?
action required.
Nothing, no action required. All right. Very good. Any other business come before this committee? Seeing none, motion to adjourn.
I'll move it.
And second, all in favor say aye. And we are closed. Thank you.
Do I need to call CD&P to order, or are we just going to hold those for 2 weeks?
Does anyone have pay attention to what's going on?
Yeah. Sounds like it's
Is there some screaming in it?
I can't tell where I am.
We'll let the mayor give a phone call.
Well, with these, I redrafted the convenience store legislation and secondhand dealer issues and local tobacco issues. I spoke with the mayor about it today, and what we want to do is get a little more feedback from that gentleman who spoke on behalf of the Convenience Store Association of New York. So we set up a meeting with him for next week, and if the council's okay with waiting, we'll get some feedback on that. I think we've got something to look favorably on, and then we'll come back to the proposal.
Safe and sorry. So we're holding both of them for next 2 weeks?
Yeah, and if I may, Ms. King, just regarding the sale of tobacco products, I talked to Carl earlier. I was doing a little research over the weekend with similar legislation in New York State, particularly. And as I talked to Carl, there was a couple of places, and unfortunately I was driving all day today. I couldn't remember what cities or towns, but they had ordinances there where, again, they grandfathered the convenience stores in that were within 1,000 feet of the schools. But if those stores were caught in violation of selling to minors or loosies or whatever, their fine was either doubled or tripled in some cases. And that's something I'd like to see if we can follow up on and maybe insert that into the legislation to, again, have a stiffer penalty for those businesses that are within that 2,000 foot that are being grandfathered in, but again, to have an additional penalty incurred.
Yeah, and that's definitely something we're going to look into as we move further along with it, and I appreciate you bringing that to our attention.
Mm-hmm. I'll get the exact towns or villages that had that. I'll get it out to you. Thank you.
So we're going to talk about this more in 2 weeks?
Yes. It's actually 3 weeks, but.
That's right.
All right.
It's next year, actually.
Offer them to you, yes. All right.
Well, before that.
Okay.
Dear.
All right. All right. So since I didn't convene the committee, we can move right on to government ops.
Okay, I'll call to order government operations. I received an email that is in your packet and asking me to sign on to this letter to the governor supporting solar initiatives. And I forwarded it to Peggy because I assumed all of us got it and no one got it but me. So I'm just bringing it forward because I think it's a council resolution, not a personal council person resolution. So I'm just bringing it forward to everyone to see if it's something we want to move forward in support of. The development department did say that they would be, happy to add what the city of Schenectady has accomplished in our own pursuit of enhancing our solar power initiatives. So just really bringing it forward for discussion and to find out if the council wants to put a letter of support, send a letter of support to the governor.
I think we should.
Any discussion, questions, anyone else? Any opposition?
We're all going green. Let's do it.
Yeah, so I'll look for a second then. Second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Very good. I'll
Suggestion would
work
be is also
with
not only address it to the governor, but to the legislature, so send it to the appropriate state senate and assembly members to just encourage their continued support.
Great. So I'll work with the clerk's office and bring that forward. And then I was also suggesting that we do a ceremonial resolution for, I think it's pastor, not reverend, James Bookout, for all that he's offered in Mount Pleasant thus far, and then also in recognition of the acquisition of the Fastenal building, where he'll be increasing his services to maybe help raise awareness of his efforts and where they'll be going in the future, and also what he's done thus far.
This is the church that's not in Mount Pleasant, right?
It's Bridge,
Bridge.
yeah,
Bridge.
the old.
In the old Marcelo
The old
building.
Marcelo.
Yeah, and he just bought the Fastenal building next to it that he is planning on making the Dream Center in, which will help people with food and clothing and shelter and those kinds of things.
I would like to move that.
Okay.
A second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Excellent. I will call him then. And lastly is the Housing Standard Review Board. This was something that we have discussed, and I just think it got put on the back burner, but there is a call for the need for this. But I think that the legislation deserves some review on our parts as far as what powers the board has now. I know that the last time we looked at them, some of them weren't even something that the board could decide. I think I need to go through it again. But I'm bringing it forward so we can all take a look at it and then discuss it the first cycle in January, come back to the table with our recommendations. I know that one of the recommendations for the makeup of the board was to add a landlord, and there were some other things that, and I'll work with codes to make sure, what's legal, what's not legal. I think one of the things was B, I believe, was completely like not something they could decide. So I'm just bringing it up so that you can familiarize yourself with it, and then we can bring it back to the table in the first cycle in January, first committee meeting, to discuss our recommendations and move in a forward direction. So unless there's any comments or questions, it's really just an item for awareness.
Well, yeah, can you give me a little more background? Is there currently a board? What do we, and what, have they been meeting or not
No,
meeting?
there is not
or-
currently a board, and no one has been meeting, and we've talked to Slick. They're really feel as if it would be beneficial to bring the board back into existence, and we had talked about that. And to be honest with you, I can't remember why we kind of put it aside. I think it just kind of got lost in the shuffle, which happens sometimes when other things that pop up that are bigger. So just asking everybody to review as it stands. It definitely needs some adjustments. But I think it would be a good, especially with our codes initiatives and all that we're doing, the work with our landlords and all of that, I think it would be, a good thing to have in place. So, any other questions or comments? Any other business to come before government operations? Ask for a motion to adjourn.
So, second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Great, thank you.
I'd like to call to order public service and utilities. We have one item on the agenda for Mr. LaPlante, but I don't
He's
see...
not here, but they probably handle this, so I think it's fairly self-explanatory. The project's gone out to bid for doing the inspection of the storm and sanitary lines, Union Street, Prairie Boulevard, Park Place, Yates Street, Union. Again, we're looking to do the rebuild of those roads, those streets next year. This is to make sure everything under the ground is in good shape before we do the street surface. The bid documents are attached.
I have a question.
Any questions?
It's probably technical, and you probably need Mr. LaFond, because I was wrong to know exactly what is cured in place.
What they do is they, as opposed to replacing the line, they will put what is a plastic liner in the pipe.
Okay.
So it uses the old pipe, and it really creates, it seals up any leaks, any deformities or other things that are in the old pipe, and gives you a clean surface, extends the life. In this case, it is sanitary or storm sewers.
Yeah.
So I don't want to assume that this is more cost effective than just taking out the hole and replacing
Much
the...
more cost effective.
Okay. Then I can't imagine what it would be to replace the entire pipe then.
Because I don't think they even have to dig the road, I don't think. I mean,
No.
just to get in.
No, there's no dig.
Yeah.
There's no construction or digging of the road. We work through existing manholes.
Okay. All right, then that makes a lot of sense.
Any other questions, concerns?
Well, just no, and again, Mr. Mayor, Yates Street, how do we select Yates Street? I mean, I understand Union Street.
Because the sewer line runs off of Union onto Yates.
And these are the only two streets we're doing. Do we have any more in the hopper down the road, or is
We've
this?
done Broadway, so Yates coming up, then it's J, and this is going all the way up to Park. And I apologize, I don't know the answer to this, where I think some of the other ones have been lined or in better condition than the one on Yates.
Okay. Very good.
But there's an engineering reason.
That we're doing. I'm
for
sure there
that.
is. Yep. Yep.
Again, it will be all the way up to Seward.
Ms. Krause, you have a question?
Not a question, just a statement. I'm just glad to see that we got 5 bidders on this project. And I think, when we have such robust bidding, we can be assured that we're securing a good price for the services, and there was quite a range of bid totals that came in, so that's good news. That's a good thing.
Anybody else have any questions? Okay. We have to move this?
I'll move it. Oh, I'll second.
Okay. First, Mr. Riggi, second, Ms. Prasso. Any other? Oh, all in favor?
Aye.
Any other things that need to come before public service and utilities?
I move we adjourn.
Second?
Okay, we're closed.
All those in favor? Aye.
Call to order claims. I assume these are all executive session.
Yes.
And I'll move we go into executive session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.